Welcome back to the Hollow Table Games Network. I'm Ginger Joey.
And I'm Corey Hayabusa.
Hori
You're not
Hayabusa.
going to get Hayabusa. You're not going to get this
Hayalusa?
one.
No, probably not.
Hayabusa.
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 Well,
There's another
same to you,
Hayabusa.
sucker.
No, it's Ninja Gaiden. New Hayabusa.
Oh, okay.
Um,
No, Hayabusa sounded familiar. I just couldn't put what it was from, but yeah, Ninja Gaiden, okay.
yeah, there's a new Team Ninja game, Neo 3, out this week, and I've been playing the heck out of it, and I love me some
Oh.
Team Ninja, so I couldn't reference it at all because there's nothing recognizable whatsoever. I don't even know what the story is in any of the Neo games because I don't care. they're just fun to play, but the stories are dumb and I just zone out on them.
Hey, sometimes that's what video games are for, is just to zone out, so that's cool.
Yeah,
Great.
exactly.
So this is our weekly SWUmary, formerly Sunday summary, but since we can't always do it on Sunday, we wanted to switch it up. And a buddy of ours, Mr. Sam Neff of SWUNeff, came up with that, and I'm like, I'm stealing that. That's fantastic. So the SWUmary, which is our SWU summary of the week that
Yeah.
we've had. So, getting right into the nuts and bolts of it, we're going to hop over to Competitive Hub and look at what we are seeing over the last weekend. And not really any surprises here. You have your Tarkentown from Cad Bane's coming back in, so that's competing with your Han 2s doing a lot of the work. You have your Han 1 yellows, which are, in my opinion, a lot of net decking going on since the sectors happened, and then they're coming into
Mm-hmm.
fruition. And then Palpatine yellows are coming into it. And
Yep.
I think that's also in response to the Han 1s being a part of it.
Yeah. I hope you like Han with your Han because
This
we
is the
got a lot of
interesting one to
Han.
me is there is a couple Han 1 Tarkin towns. I know this one in Alabama was won by Lego Pizza, and it looked like
Mm-hmm.
somebody in France also took down that same type of a deck. Looking at the list from Lego Pizza, it looks like it's a lot of what Han 4 Red plays, just with using Han 1 as like an accelerator for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which makes sense. And yeah, I mean, given the plethora of Han 2s, it makes sense to be running Tarkin Towns. It's an easy way to take care of problem units from him pretty quickly. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not surprised to see it. But yeah, it's so much on, just so on.
Yep, but come the next set, I don't think you have to worry about that. I mean, you'll probably see some Han 4s still,
Yeah.
but by and large, I think the new Han is not going to see a whole lot of action. Not in
Which
the
speaking of, if you want to see some Han 4s, tune in Thursday.
Oh,
we've
yeah,
got
yeah,
we've
yeah.
got some Han 4 action for you. A little pilot action for next set.
So yeah, that's kind of what the weekend update was for PQs.
Yeah, not. I mean, I was telling you this before we started recording. This meta is just, it's boring. It's the same thing over and over again, and it's just you can't. You got to join the crowd mostly, or you're not probably going to make it. There's going to be a few spatterings here and there, but it's just, again, as I mentioned, there's just so much power in what we have right there that nothing else can really keep up as much. Not that you can't, as I said, it can happen, especially when you surprise people, but it's very hard to do and relies on a lot of luck.
Well, I mean, there is luck in every game you play, but I
Yeah.
think the bigger factors in being competitive is always identifying the boogeymen that you have to go up against in any meta.
Yeah.
I mean, you say the meta is boring. However, we are seeing like there was a transitional shift, and there's always going to be like a 2 to 3 week period where things are going to be pretty stagnantly the same. And it's
Yeah.
because people are playing what they've seen work, and then they're going to keep on grinding that out for whatever the local PQs around them are going to be. So until you
Although
see
I would,
somebody spike something.
I mean, I would argue it's been kind of stagnant from the very beginning of the set. We've seen a little bit, but in general, it has not changed a lot.
Well, that's because the leaders from set 6 didn't really offer much to sway away from what was already there in the
Yeah.
past. So,
Yeah.
but a little segment to then talk about is identifying the boogeyman. And right now, I think one of the biggest boogeymen that exists is Sanctioner Shuttle, or as I like to call it,
Yep.
Sanctioner's Shittle, because it shits on your early game. This is definitely a card that you have to watch out for because now even your Han ones are running this because even though they can ramp and accelerate, they're not. They're running that Faith in Your Friends, which is also a card I should have probably had up here. It's not really
Yeah.
it's something to be aware of, but it's not really something that you can like counter or do anything about. It's either they're gonna get it or they're not. So
Hmm.
the best way to quote unquote counter it is to just if you can get the initiative, then you can take out one of their spies so that they can't get off a sanctioner shuttle right away against you. That's like your biggest counterplay to it. Other than that, if they get the initiative, you're pretty much losing your first unit to a sanctioner shuttle because that's
Yep.
just how it happens. If they're running a Tarkin Town yellow deck, your first unit is probably going to be sanctioner shuttled, and your second unit is probably going to be Tarkin Town. And then you're like, your first two turns are DOA at that point in time. So you
Hmm.
have to have an answer or a plan to deal with that 1-2 punch. And if you don't, then you're just going to be so far on the back foot, it's not going to be even funny.
Yeah.
So one of the other cards to be looking out for is, like I said, Tarkin Town. This card, I'm still on the it should have been banned a long time ago fence. Um,
It's annoying.
this
I agree. It's been a strong annoyance for quite a while.
I think the problem with it is that everybody said like this was always on the same level as ECL, and I disagree on the standpoint of ECL requires a unit in your hand, and it forces that unit into combat, into a situation where it takes retaliatory damage and stuff like that. So there is an interaction with that.
Hmm.
This Tarkin Town is literally just here's 3 free damage that doesn't take a resource, aka a card out of your hand. It doesn't cause you to spend resources to do it. There was no like there's nothing to it. It's literally just free 3 damage to throw at whatever you want that's damaged. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's the problem with this card, is that it just gives way too much leverage and swing on that early game. And so I've
Yeah.
hated this from the get-go.
I mean, I would say I don't think it would be as bad if we didn't have as much ping, particularly leader ping available. That's really what makes it feel terrible is that leader gets a free ping and then gets the Tarkin Town away your turn one play and great, wonderful.
Honestly, though, if there was a cost to doing the 3 damage, I don't think it would feel as bad either.
Yeah, that's
It's the
fair.
fact that it's just free. There is nothing to it. Oh, the cost was the 5 health on my base. No, no, sorry, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because like even like ECL, the cost of putting your unit into danger, you're still potentially losing a card to your hand, even though you still lost 5 health for that as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't buy the 5 health being enough of a cost for this. So then the other boogeymen, since there's so much Han out there in Han 2, you got Grogu, and a turn one Grogu is not a fun thing to fight if you don't have an answer for that. Typically sanction or shuttle is people's answers for that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. If you
but
don't have an answer for it, it'll shut down your game.
yeah,
It
so
just it's like, oh great. Well, that ruins everything now.
it almost forces people to be playing cards like open fire and or waylay just to get it back off the board, and then you kind of just feels bad that you're using a big removal on such a peddly little card, but it's a big annoyance. um
I I will say I am going to be curious to see if it sees really any play in the new set after rotation. I don't think so. I mean, it's really Han 2 is what makes it good. You're bringing in damaged units, bringing in Grogu damage specifically, and immediately getting to use that. I don't think you're going to see as much play next after rotation.
I don't know that you're wholly wrong, but I think the game is going to slow down slightly, and you also have the fact that you're introducing credits into the game.
Yeah,
So if you can cheat him out, and like I don't know how you're going to cheat him out. Well, no, there's some bases that potentially can give you a credit very fast. The
yeah,
one, no, I think all of them require something to be in play though. Like you have to generate
I
a
think so.
token of some kind or some way. But I mean, if it
Yeah,
can
I
be
don't.
done, if you can put him into play on turn one without damage on him, oh,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
that's going to be
There's a
painful. But Grogu, having an answer for Grogu is kind of like you need to have something figured out, some plan of action for it. Next would be Blue Leader. Blue Leader, not necessarily something you have to have an answer for, but something you need to be cognizant of and expect to come into play. The versatility
Mhm.
of this unit is just far too tempting to not be utilized by every green heroic deck existing.
Yep. Know that's going to come at you. Know that your 3 health ship is probably going to get ran over, and especially bad if you have a 2/3 ship out there that it survives. And this is one I would say this is going to remain in the meta. You're going
Oh
to
yeah.
see this in every green heroism deck at all times. I mean, I build a green heroism deck, it goes in there at all times because,
Yep.
as Joey said, the versatility is too good. It's a 3/3 or a 5/5 with
And either
ambush.
way it ambushes, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be there. This is gonna be something you have to be cognizant of no matter what. And like whether you're facing a Yoda green, a Han 2 green, a Han 1 green, they're all gonna have it. So
Yep.
next would be Stolen AT Hauler. This card started off fairly strong, but is actually getting stronger as the meta goes along due to the fact that that 5 health is getting harder and harder to deal with. And
Hmm.
if you don't have a way to deal with that, this just becomes a huge unit that if the next thing you do is slap, say, a Chewbacca onto it, you're in a big world of hurt at that point in time. You can pretty much put any pilot on it, but Chewbacca gives it just that extra bit of, don't touch me.
Yep. And that's what I would say. You're gonna. I think its stock goes up even more after rotation.
I agree.
We're gonna see a lot less ways to kill it. There's a lot less kill spells. I think it's going to be played pretty heavily. Like, I mean, a lot of the kill spells, I mean, the primary kill spell you're going to see is going to be no glory, no results. Problem is, that doesn't help at all. You no glory, no result that. And then you just, let the person replay it. So you can't no glory it. Tree remembers is the other one. But that blanks it. So then you don't get to replay it. So yeah, I think this one, this is one that the stock is going up. If you don't have your 3, you should probably get your 3 because it's probably going to go up in price.
Right. The other thing is that usually the players that are playing this card right now have ways that even if you do kill it and you get it, they can just return it to their hand via cunning or waylay or
Hmm.
what's the other one? A new adventure, or next adventure, or whatever that card one is that bounces it and then they can replay it
Yeah,
right
I
away,
love
kind
New
of thing.
Adventure. Yeah,
So the people that are playing this have ways that if they do manage to lose it, it's not a problem for them.
yeah, they can take it back. So it's honestly, if you're playing right now, a lot of the time, it's probably better just to leave it dead.
Yep.
A good percentage of the time.
Yep. Chewbacca, obviously, just any kind of a pilot, and for the most part, any pilot works in this front. An Iden thrown super early onto a ship, a Vader thrown super early onto a ship, and for the less part, you can put General's Blade in the same category. Any
Yeah.
one of these upgrades that is giving a +3/+3 to whatever unit was already in play, turning their average unit into a monster unit, is going to give you a problem. So this is why upgrade removal is kind of like a must or some way of incapacitating said unit via condemn or a waylay or something of that nature.
Yep.
After that, we get into kind of a section of them, which is just your ground sentinels, specifically your 5 health ground sentinels, being Captain Typho, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi specifically because it's so easy to come back into play via like um, Home One or U-wing reinforcements.
Yep.
So you can also put Churret into here, though Churret hasn't been seen as much at the moment because green is so dominant.
Yeah.
But he is also a very sturdy 5 health sentinel on the ground, which means that with so many ground sentinels, you have the problem of this is why people tend to go space aggro right now, is because I'm not getting through the ground, so I have to have space. If you're building a ground aggro deck, you need to have a lot of saboteur or ways to enable saboteur.
And yeah, Chirrut specifically, I think we're going to see him making a comeback next set because I think you'll see some more blue forces out there, blue force decks out there, and Chirrut just, I mean, he's the best of all these Sentinels by far. If you're running a force deck, like just
If
no
you're running a
ifs, ands,
force
or
deck, yeah.
buts. Yeah, as long as you're running a force deck, No ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's amazing. If you're not running a force deck, then probably Typho or Anakin, or not Anakin, Obi-Wan, or also next set we've got Obi-Wan or
Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon coming. Qui-Gon is the dig from Qui-Gon, I think, puts him top tier, puts him over Typho next set.
They're different things, but yes, I would tend to
Yeah,
say that that's definitely going to be there. Like this adding the healing aspect to it, but Qui-Gon basically brainstorming yourself so that you can
yeah.
set things up. So, anyway, I just want to identify if you have PQs coming up, if you haven't been paying attention, these are the cards and the kind of lines that you have to be cognizant of when you're putting together your deck that you're gonna run into. You need to
Mhm.
have ways of dealing with these things if you want to be successful. Whatever they may be, that's for you to decide with whatever deck you're building. But a lot of being successful is prep work. And this is the kind of
Yeah,
things you need to prep for.
yeah. Make sure you're thinking about this and thinking about, yeah, as Joy said, you got to know the threats, know what the main decks are. If you don't know Han2's list, you need to look at Han2's list. Just make sure you know those lists, know the Han 1 list, know what they're going to throw at you, and have answers for it prepared. Maybe your answers aren't in the main deck, maybe they're sideboard. That definitely is valid a lot of the time, but you need to have answers ready, or you're just going to get run over.
Yep. So with that, we're gonna move on to Lawless Time preview stuff because we've been also trying
Yeah,
to
we
pay
got some good
attention to
stuff
that,
this last week.
do this a little bit. So, in the weekly SWUmary, it includes, previews of what we got going on. So if you don't want to know spoilers, turn off now, as I've already shown you a couple of them that have flashed up
Yeah.
there. But yeah.
I mean,
So,
you probably don't want to watch our channel much because we've got rotation decks coming up too. But
well,
you should watch. Don't worry about spoilers. You need to start thinking about this with rotation coming. You need to be considering everything that's coming in this new set.
so the latest ones that we saw were Arvel Skeen, Liberated Wookiee, and Lost and Forgotten. Those came in a batch of three.
Yep. And I do want to
Arvel,
throw out. I want to put out here. Remember last week? I was right. Joey was
oh,
wrong. Just gonna
the
highlight that. I
the
was right. We
more
got
credit
a
removal stuff.
lot of credit a lot of anti-credit cards this last week. They started to flow,
A
and
lot. I
I
think we had
knew they
like
were coming.
two. Two.
There's like 3 or 4. There was a fair
We'll get to
number,
them.
and there's more to come. I still think we're getting one that steals. I do think they're going to have a steal credit token at some point. It might not be
I
good, but I
I
think we'll
would be
get it.
surprised if there isn't one, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
So
But that's it. Arvel is great. Yeah, he's
Ar-
genuinely good.
Arvel's okay.
Might be a sideboard. I mean, but I like the 4/3 stat line. I like that's a when played went on attack. Yeah, I mean, it's probably a sideboard, but if your opponent is playing credits, it's going to be a good sideboard.
So I think that that's the wrong mentality to be looking at. You're saying if the opponent plays credits. I think if you're playing Arvel, you're the one generating the credits so that you always have the ability to use his ability. If you're
That's fair.
relying on your opponent to do it, I think it's too risky of a play.
Yeah, that's actually a good argument. I wasn't thinking about that, but you're right. There is a valid play of the 4/3 swinging for 4, swinging for 5, technically.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're the one generating your own credits and you're utilizing your credits in a productive way other than resource cheating. So this is giving a great alternative to that. That's where I think he's going to excel, but I think it's a total build around. If you're not built properly for it, he's just okay.
Could be a fun build. Yeah, yeah. I
Could
like
be
that idea. I need to see what we get, but that does actually seem like an interesting build. Maybe a Lando red, potentially.
potentially. You could even hang on. I think I have
Oh, your
frozen
camera froze up.
myself. Yeah.
Your camera froze. Oh no.
Un momento, por favor.
Oh no. Feisty camera is feisty.
Well, I just think my computer has been on too long, probably, or something. I don't know. I
It's
should. I don't
grumpy.
think I rebooted, and I think I should have rebooted before we
Yep,
started
yep.
recording. My
Gotta
fault.
clear the RAM.
All right.
Anyway,
Liberated Wookiee, Gungi Light. That's the
yeah,
only way I
it's
can put
fine.
that.
Yeah,
It's a
it's a draft card. It's a
yeah.
sealed card. It's not going to be a premier card.
I don't see that being played with having just vanilla unless there's some like miracle Wookiee tribal that we don't know about yet. There's no reason to do this when you have so many 2/4s with abilities. So
Yeah.
Lost and Forgotten. When I first read this, I was like, oh great, they put Rivals Fall but made it better. Nope, it's still non-leader.
Yeah. It's non-leader, but it is better. I mean, it's essentially vigilance. This is 90% of the time you used vigilance to kill something and heal your base.
Sure.
But now you can heal anything. You don't have a HP restriction. So
Like you can kill
yeah,
anything.
you can kill anything and you get the heal. Yeah, so you can kill anything without the HP restriction. So yeah, I see this as a staple. This will be a control deck staple. I think your primary kill spells are going to be that and no glory.
Well then, so but here's what I'm already worried about, right?
Yeah.
Blue removal has already gotten so many tools, and it's like, are we just going to see the oops all spells removal decks again, the control things? Because you have the A Tree Remembers at 4, No Glory only results at 5, Lost and Forgotten at 6, and then you have the Super Ignition at 8. So it's like you're already curving out your removal. Plus,
I
there's another one that removes something as well when it's smaller.
Yeah, I don't think so. Honestly, I don't think Tree Remembers is going to see that much play. It's good. It's not good enough. I don't think the 3 cost restriction on that is a big restriction. That's one that I think will be maybe a sideboard against pilot decks for control decks, but I don't think that's going to be primary. Um, Super Reactor Ignition does restrict you to blue red only, so that's a
Not true.
pretty big restriction.
Not true.
In general, it does.
Sure.
So no, I don't think there's not the level of it's those 3 cost edicts that really made it gross this last set.
I don't disagree
Honestly,
with that sentiment. That's the
yeah,
3 cost. Like I remove whatever I want value wise, and I mean at least this is a 6 cost to remove anything. So
yeah, yeah. And leaders are still a problem. I think that's another one. I think
ah
retaliation is a
that yep.
sideboard card. We talked about that in some of the
Mm,
games that you'll see. I don't
I
think that's a
know.
main decker. I think it's a sideboard.
I think a single copy of Retaliation is a main deck card for a control deck
Maybe
for
one.
sure.
Yeah, like Fell the Dragon, you splash one of those
Well, no,
sometimes.
it's like
Or
Rivals Fall used to be.
yeah, or like Rival's Fault. Yeah, you're right. One of those, just splash.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't think there's enough removal just yet.
Yeah, we'll see. But I mean, this is what set one of this coming cycle year, and we've
Yeah,
already
but
gotten a plethora thrown into the mix. So that's what I'm worried about is what's our foundation at. So
we have 3 prior sets that really didn't have much.
right. Well, arguably they
So
had one of the best removal cards in No Glory, only results. So
sure, the one out of 3 sets. So
sure.
yeah,
Well, Shatterpoint. It's a little contingent, but it also is such a universal removal card.
yeah, that's great if you're running a force deck, but
Right.
it's going to be it's restricted so heavily that
Right.
it's not going to be a huge problem.
So IG88, me, it's okay. I think there's lots of ways around it.
A shielded 6/3 is not bad. I like Irk better because he's a hidden 6/3,
Hmm.
uh, or 6/4 even at
Yep.
4. So yeah, like Irk is better. This is
Yes and
not
no.
the worst.
For attacking purposes, they're the same at 6. For defending purposes, IG88's better because Urk is a
True.
raid
Yeah.
4.
Yeah.
My thing
Yeah.
is that the 3 health is pretty like,
3
what
health's
was,
rough.
well, there's a card that even like do 3 damage to a unit and bypass their shield.
It's destroy all shields and then do 3 damage.
Sure, whatever. It's, yeah.
It's jump to light speed. I can't remember the name of it now.
But yeah, I mean, there's that card. It does exist. So it kind of makes this go, hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
That's
if
the instant
Gar
kill.
was still a thing,
Piercing shot. That's the one. Piercing shot.
yep.
Yeah.
If Gar was still a thing, oh, this would be sweet.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, Gar would love that.
So, all right, on to Defiant Hammerhead. I kind of like the design space of this. It's a bit of a do nothing when played, but it can be kind of an anti-Piet card if you could get it out.
Yeah, it can swing big at something.
I mean, in
I'm iffy on it.
perspective, this could take out a um what's the card? The
It's not
Devastator.
going to take out. Yeah, it'll take out Devastator. It's not going to take out an Annihilator. It's not going to take out a lot of threats.
Right. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, again, it's how do we make something ambush into play without ECL or timely intervention?
Yeah, I will say though, I love the art on that.
Oh yeah,
That
it's
art
fantastic space
is
art.
great.
I think the
I think
hyperspace of
that's
this is going to look money.
yeah, hyperspace foil. I want immediately.
Yeah.
I think of all the cards we've seen, I think that is my favorite art I've seen from this set. It is beautiful.
Speaking of Piet, since this is not a heroic card, it is a capital ship, and therefore it could come out in a Piet
Yep,
deck.
yep. Piet's gonna want to do this for sure. Yeah, that's a given for Piet.
Asajj Ventress is a ground unit, Force Underworld Bounty Hunter, and you can ready a Bounty Hunter when you play her, but she costs 5 and is only a 3/3.
Yeah, I don't love the 3/3 body. That said, I feel like she's a getting prepared for next set card. Because I think we're gonna see more bounty hunters in the next set. So that's kind of how I'm looking at her. It's like I feel like Ashes of the Empire is where we're gonna see more bounty hunters and she might get better.
Possibly, or you got to look at
And we
other
still might see
cards that
more
are
yet
maybe
this set
bounty
too.
hunters in this set as well.
Yeah.
You have a bounty hunter leader that could be readied,
Yeah.
so something to consider for that. Um, yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, 3/3. That's just rough. That's just not loving that. Just 4 health would have been nice to have.
yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, maybe there's something coming down the line, but High Singer seems pretty solid to me. 3-drop 4/2, and basically gives experience coming and going.
Yeah. Um, has to go to another unit, obviously, for both of those. But yeah, it's
Yep.
pretty nice. Yeah, definitely could see that one getting play.
It's ironic that I guess it's because they didn't feel like they needed to say it, but the win defeated doesn't technically say another.
Yeah, technically, but there's no reason for it to.
Well, is there a way to make it survived where it could give it itself? It's like it's defeated, but oh no, no,
No.
wait. So no. There is. Hear me out. You chimera the high singer.
Yeah, that's true.
You're
That's
using its
true.
win defeated
Chimera
ability,
could do it,
and then it's giving itself an experience because it does not say another on the defended.
except Chimera's blue.
So you can run the base to bring out high singer as an out
Yeah,
of aspect thing. You could run it in a Thrawn 4 red deck. You use the base to bring out high singer, and then you can chimera to give itself experience twice.
yeah, that could potentially work.
I'm not saying
Yeah,
it's a good
that's two
play.
plays.
I'm
No,
not
I
saying you
don't
should
think
build a
it's
deck that
good,
does it. I'm just saying
but
that
it's
there is a
doable.
possibility of something like that occurring.
Yeah, 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 it's a possibility.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
Honorbound Partisan. I actually like this card. I think it's a pretty solid 2 cost unit. When played, you immediately get to deal damage to a base, so it's pseudo 3/2-ish. It just isn't going
Yep.
to trade very well, but then if you doesn't trade very well, you're getting a discount. So, okay, fine.
Yeah, I would say the one con is it's going to be hard to get the when defeated a lot of the time because I mean your opponent can plan around that.
Unless
Unless
you run
you're
into
swinging it to
something.
kill it. Yeah, you have to run it into something, or your opponent's just going to be like, yeah, no, we'll wait until and time it elsewhere. So it's good, but no, I agree. I like anything that does a quick damage to the base when played. That's useful. That can close out a game. You can be at 29 and need that one more hit.
Well, but I also equate this into a Boba Fett pilot deck, red green version of it. Now I
Yeah.
can put this into play. I do a damage to you. It triggers my indirect. I do an indirect, and now I can run that into something that you put into the ground to make a 4-drop ship come into play instead of a 3-drop ship.
Yeah. I
So
mean, flip side also, I think Emphas Nest. Oh no, she's on attack. Sorry, not when played.
correct.
Who's the one that does when played? There's
Nobody
one that
yet.
does
Nope.
nobody yet. Okay,
There's
nobody
no
yet.
leader that does a wind play that I know of, and I'm actually waiting for that to be the thing. The wind
Yeah.
played is Qui-Gon's Aether Sprite. When you attack with it, the next wind play you do gets triggered twice.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's the next one. Yeah, that's what it was. But yeah, no, it's that would be an interesting one.
So, um, Fire Across the Galaxy. I think this is way too restricted to the Spectre thing.
Yeah, I mean it's
It's a
Jen's gonna be
niche deck.
very happy about it.
Oh yeah,
Jen will love
yeah.
it.
It's a very niche deck, and I just don't see this seeing very much competitive play currently.
No, I agree. Eh, it's fine. It's a card made for Jen to make her happy, and she'll be very happy. So I'm always happy to see her happy. So I'm okay with it for that.
Betrayed Trust is interesting. It's a one-turn mulligan.
This I think is going to be a decent, because as we were discussing before, you might see a bit more Voltroning. You might see a bit more making things bigger, saying, "Hey, your big beat stick can't deal damage this turn." It could be pretty useful.
Well, I'm actually trying to figure out. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. Is there ways to turn off your own units from doing combat damage on purpose so that maybe something else is turned on?
Not that I can think of,
No, I'm
but
not saying that there is anything right
yeah,
now, but
no.
it's just one of those things that I always kind of like want to go, how do I use cards like this in a roundabout way instead of just
Well,
what the
actually, it
obvious
doesn't
way
matter
is?
because it's choose an enemy unit. You missed
Well,
the first line.
yep, I did. I did
That's
not
out.
read the card, therefore I'm assuming more about the card. Yeah. So if it's an enemy
Yeah.
unit, that doesn't work out so well.
Yeah, but
All
that's
right.
it. I think it could be a good slow your beat stick down so I can close out the game before you do potential.
Sure. Um, Koidarian Technician. I actually like this card a lot. Yeah,
Great.
it is only a 2/3, but it's a pseudo 3/3, just not on the retaliation aspect, and it comes with Restore 1. I think
Yeah.
this is a great stable.
Yeah. If I have a yellow blue deck, that's going in there.
Yep. Django. I don't know. It's a 6 drop big unit, but it does not do anything right away. So I guess we're gonna have to see how often that's gonna be okay.
I mean, if you get initiative and can swing, I mean, his on attack goes off because he's got the shield built in.
Right.
So yeah, if he can keep the shield and exhaust units, it's okay. But yeah, I don't. I wasn't excited about it.
Sabine, I think she's pretty solid.
Yeah,
I mean, you'd usually want to see more defense on her for being especially an ambusher. However, I think she can fit right into like a Luthen Rawl deck pretty easily. So you can ambush. She's going to die in the process, so she can almost like trade up in that sense. So
she gets rid of shield. That's not bad. Yeah, if you got using the new bases, you can take advantage of the blue or green potentially, but I don't think that's going to happen very often. I think Outer Rim Constable is still your regular upgrade removal, not this.
well, sure, because they
Yeah,
work
that's
for
not, you
everything.
can't
This is
rely on
just
that.
non-unique. So
Yeah, well, it can be it can be unique if you or anything if you have a blue or green unit, but that's not going to happen that much.
right. The Ghost, giving experience around. It's basically you you almost need to have this when played be active to make this worthwhile. Because
Yeah.
otherwise it's a 6 drop 5/5 with a shield.
Hmm.
Okay. I mean, we've seen that in previous versions of the Ghost, and it just never sees play.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like, I mean, all of these cards, it's like, they might work in a Hera deck again. Jen will be happy. She can build a Hera deck with those, but will it work in anything else? No, probably not.
Benthic 2 tubes. Again, I'm liking this as a solid, red green 2 drop.
Yeah.
This is gonna see play.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Red green 2 drop. Deal 1 damage to an enemy ground unit on attack is great. When defeated, to get an extra damage, also great.
Yep.
Yeah. Do not dislike it at all.
You're
Yes,
either
he can
trading
swing
up
and
into
do.
something or you're hitting them on the way out.
Yep. Yeah, no, I think that's going to be another staple. If you're a green red, you're probably going to want to use that card.
I don't know how the stalwart fleet trooper is going to stand up. It equated out to what the villainy version of it was with the trooper, the detention block trooper. But we have so many better heroic sentinels, especially
Yeah.
even at that 3 cost. I just don't know how this stacks up.
Yeah, this is, I mean, it's a common. This is a sealed and draft card. This is a limited
Sure.
card. It's not going to see non-limited play because it's not good enough.
Right. Callous Bounty Hunter. I actually think this is a pseudo a sleeper card that people are going to
Hmm.
underestimate at first. We did see cards like this in the past that did not see very much play, but I think some of that is keyword dependent. So I think the Underworld and Bounty Hunter factor might be something that sees this get more play.
Potentially, and also, yeah, the Saboteur. We mentioned it before. Ground Sentinels are going to be a problem. So
Yep.
having Saboteur on the ground is going to be very useful.
Yep. And the 4 health is relevant to survive a lot of those Sentinels if they get attacked
Yep.
into first. So
Yep.
Lieutenant Gorn is another way to hate those credits. And here is
Ooh.
your steal
Yeah, that's
credits.
true. That's take control. Yeah, yeah. The on
Uh,
attack.
but also just a 3 mana 4/4. Pretty solid by
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah, I like the stat line. I think he's playable without the on attack. I think the on
Yep.
attack helps. I think in limited, you're definitely going to want to always play him if you get him. He's a rare, so you probably won't see him very often, but you'll always want to play him in limited if you're in yellow white. But yeah, I see him possibly seeing some play.
Payroll heist. I think I'm equating this to that Kimigawi, whatever one that was like, oh, you get stormtroopers when your guys die and stuff like that. It's a 4 cost event, but if you don't have a board before already set up, this is gonna it's a do nothing card.
Yeah,
I just don't see this being played very often. The most that I could see getting value out of this is maybe like a Vader pilot deck.
yeah,
Because
that's
then you've generated so many tokens before the turn happens that maybe you can, pull this off and then squirrel away 3 tokens for the next turn. So then that way on your 5 flip you have 8 resources. Then you can like do something with Vader at the same time or put down a bigger. I don't know, but unless you're like token generating a big build in the first couple turns, this just isn't doing anything for you.
no, I again, it's what we've talked about this before. You would love to see a go wide deck, but it just does not exist to this day. And this is something that would need a go wide deck to really be decent.
Yeah, you'd want to be like dropping 2 units a turn in a way that they actually survive. Most
Yeah.
of the units that you could drop 2 units a turn, they're not surviving.
Yep. Yeah. I don't like it. I think it's yeah, it's a junk card.
Uh, Partisan Infantry is so basically a reprint with a different name because there was a previous card that did the exact same thing, the Twi'lek something or another.
Yeah, Twilight
Uh,
Smuggler? No, it wasn't Twilight Smuggler. It was one
Something
of those. Yeah,
Raider,
yeah,
maybe it's Raider or something, but yeah,
yeah,
it was also green. It was also a 2/3. It was also raid 1. So this is literally just a different name, same card.
yeah. It's fine. It's another limited only card, I would
Yep.
say.
Kill switch is your perilous position dumbed down.
Yeah, one cheaper, not bad. Yeah, I like it. I think it's going to be useful. I think
It'll definitely
sometimes
see play for the
that target
exhaust factor.
exhaust,
Yeah.
yeah, that's useful. That comes in handy a lot.
Yep. Rhodian bondsman. It's token generator, but it's also for your opponent. So, but now that we've already seen cards like Lieutenant Gorn, well, I'm going to give you a credit, and now I'm going to take it away. Have a nice
Yeah,
day.
yeah, that's possible. Yeah, another one of those. It's fine.
Or you can just roll right into the Defiant Scrapper and just defeat it on the very next action.
Yeah, that one is
So,
also a good one. Yeah, I do like that one. I'm again. But still, a lot of these is like, yeah, they're not going to see regular premiere play.
Right. Obi-Wan Kenobi is an interesting one to me. 7 cost, has Sentinel, is a 7/7. And while you control 7 or more units, their printed power is considered to be 7, and printed HP is considered to be 7. We talked about Casino Han before. He is the epitome of Casino Han because it's all about the sevens.
Yeah. Which,
The
why
other,
is that? What does Obi-Wan have to do with 7? Did I
I
miss?
don't know.
Is there something I forgot? I don't even know. We need
I think it's
David
just
right now.
flavor from the designers.
Yeah.
The first card that I thought about with this is not a heroic card, and it would be to be playing um, Scramble the Fighters to make 7 TIE fighters in space. And then you
Okay. Yeah.
put this into
But
play, and they're all 7/7s the very next turn.
that's villainy,
Um,
so that doesn't really work.
right. The other thing that you can do with this is um, the Senate card, which is a 6 cost, put 5 spy tokens into play.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's I am the Senate.
Yes,
No,
I am the Senate.
I am
And
the Senate. Yeah.
then you can flip your leader, say, like on the 6 resource as well. So now you have 6 units in play, and the very next turn you can slap this down. But I think I am the Senate is also a villainy card.
Yeah,
So
that's also villainy. Yeah.
we'll have to see if
Again,
heroic gets anything of those kind of natures.
yeah. I mean, we already talked about it earlier. The go wide doesn't exist.
Not
I
not in
can
a
count.
safe way.
Yeah, I can count on one hand the number of times I've had 7 units out alive,
The other one that
and
you
I
would
don't
want
even.
to try to pair
Yeah.
this with would be Akbar, but he's yellow, so
Yeah. That's not going to fit. And even then, Akbar doesn't usually have 7. 7 units is a lot. That's
it
a lot
is.
of units. That's a ridiculous number.
So, like I said, this is an interesting, like, it makes me wonder. It makes my building brain go, how do I make that happen consistently? So,
I would like to see you try. I don't believe you can, but I challenge you to make it work somehow.
we'll see. I think we're going to
Yeah.
end up on this row here, where we're going to talk about Velsartha, a leader,
Yeah.
and she is capable of on attack, give an experience token to a unit. If you do, an opponent gets a credit token. Her leader side says the exact same thing, only it's just exhaust to do it. So there's
Exhaust.
no
Yeah.
cost. So it's literally a free experience token for a unit. The
Hmm.
cost of it is that instead of you paying one for it, you're giving your opponent one. But as we've already
Yeah.
seen, there is ways, like with the Defiant Scrapper, to steal that credit that you then gave to them. You could even come up
Or
here and
defeat it.
run or defeat it, but you can come up here if you ran a yellow blue version of the deck, you can run Lieutenant
Yeah.
Gorn and steal that card or that credit away from them. So you could very easily get free experience if you built it right. It's
Yeah. I'm
interesting because
curious. Yeah. I'm curious to see if there's going to be a possible build. I mean, this is one of those we really need to see the whole set and see what she can be built around. But I do think she has in limited pretty decent potential because again, there's not a lot of removal. Being able to stack up those experience tokens on a unit, and you could do multiples of the unit. I mean, we've seen Leia is very good because of that. She can just stack uh, experience tokens. This is this set's version of Leia. Not as good as Leia, I would say, but still decent.
well,
So there's potential.
but it's a good comparison because both Leia and her are 6 cost vigilance heroic
Yeah.
leaders. So would Velsartha see more play or would Leia see more play? Which one is easier to get the experience off on?
I would argue in Premier Leia, just because it's still not that hard to get it off. We've seen, and then you're not giving your opponent a bonus. But in limited, I think Velsartha is going to be one you're going to want to look at. If you pull her, you're going to need to think about, can I build around this?
Well, the other thing to consider is Velsartha on her unit side can give herself the experience, turn it into a
Yeah,
5/8 on the turn she flips.
yeah, yeah. She has potential. Yeah, I'm definitely thinking that for in limited, she is worth considering in Premier, she may be. It's going to be reliant more on what we see, in ways, again, more ways to get rid of opponents' credits so they can't take advantage of the ramp you're giving them.
Right. And Saw Gerrera here is a
Yeah.
4/7 6 drop. When the
Did we
attack
cover Saw
ends,
last week? I think we did.
I don't know if we did Saw or not. So
Yeah, we'll talk about Saw really quick. Yeah.
but Rebel, and when the attack ends, if he survives, or if the unit survives, you may wait. If this unit, so sorry, his leader side is you can have a unit get +2 attack and overwhelm, but it dies at the end of the attack.
Yep.
His unit side is if he attacks and survives, you can attack with another unit, give it +2 attack, overwhelm, and then it dies at the end of the attack. He's kind of like your this cycle's Anakin.
Yeah.
It's basically allowing your units to trade up, but they're just sacrificing themselves in the process.
But they're getting overwhelmed. So
Yep.
yeah,
Potentially some breakthrough
I
damage.
yeah, I think he's got some good potential. Also, one thing we are definitely seeing is the rebel trait is looking very good this set.
Very healthy on the
Um,
rebels, but not much that cares about the rebel trait.
yeah, that's true. Got a little bit
Thermal,
though.
yeah, thermal detonator. Um, my first thought when I saw this was you can put it in a Krennic red deck, and you attach this to one of your units to then sacrifice it for a credit and blow it up so that you can do 2 damage to all the ground units. I think this
I've
has some
tried messing with it a
interesting,
bit.
huh?
I've tried messing with it a bit online, just throwing it in some decks. It's tough.
In a Thrawn 4, you can double trigger it.
Yeah,
Therefore,
you
you're
can do four
getting
damage in
4
Throne
damage to
4.
the entire enemy's board.
Yeah.
I think it's got some interesting potential. It can just gonna have to see where this goes. 3 for only a +1/+1 is kind of rough, but it does
That's the
only
biggest
hit.
thing.
But it does only hit your enemy ground units, so you're not doing friendly fire to your own units. That's the nice thing.
Yeah. But it can't attack to a vehicle unit also, which is another restriction. I kind of wish it was a +2/+1. I'd feel a lot better then. Like you don't want to pump their health because obviously you're gonna want to get defeated. But yeah, if it was a +2/+1, I think it'd be more worth it.
If we're being honest, it makes more sense that it would be +2 plus none,
Oh yeah,
because
plus two
a
plus none. Yep.
grenade is all offensive and not defensive. So
you don't get one defense out of your grenade you're holding in your hand.
not usually, not usually. You're not
Yeah, no,
resistant
you're
to
right.
grenade damage in any way, shape, or form, so
Yeah,
interesting choice. And Cloud Rider Veteran is, in my opinion, just kind of a solid unit. It's almost
yeah,
Sabine-esque in how it functions, in that it can run into whatever, and the opponent's base just takes some damage.
yeah. No, I like Cloud Rider Veteran. I think that's a solid card. I think there's probably going to be builds around that. That's he's one, she's one, whichever one you want to call her. Is probably going to see has potential to see premier play.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the one attack isn't the best. The 4 health is nice, and yeah, just getting that extra 2 damage on attack every turn.
Well, I mean, in theory, in an Infest Nest deck, it could be swing to the base for 5.
Yep. Yeah, Emphas Nest is really good in. Also, I mean, honestly, a Velsar the red, get an experience token on it. That's a lot better as soon as
Sure.
it's two
Now you're a
five.
2/5.
Yep. And that's turn 1 play because Velsarth is just a tap. So you
Correct.
got to turn 1 2/5.
So yeah, could be
Yeah.
interesting. So, all right. Well, like I said, we're just gonna wrap that one up just because we don't want the video to go too long. Or almost at 50 minutes already. So probably gonna hit
Oh
that
wow, that
50
went a
minute
little
mark.
long. Oh geez.
Well, when you're
We had a
talking
good
Star
discussion.
Wars and you're having fun, this is just what happens. You just get going.
Yeah.
So, all right. So tune in next week for our weekly SWUmary. And
Ooh.
keep tuned into us because we're gonna have some rotation decks coming your way for our Thursday throwdowns.
Yeah, coming this Thursday, we had some very, very fun games. We had some cool decks. So I think yeah, you'll want to watch these. They're a lot of fun.
All right. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, everybody.